Hello everyone and welcome to this new PA commentary. This time I'm not on a ranked game, I'm on a replay of a tournament match I just played recently. Yes, a PA tournament, exactly, the Plat Pro Cup, which just took place a couple of days ago. It was an exceptional tournament, very fun, a lot of people I knew. It just turned out as a wonderful event. So we were a lot of players and we all played kind of simultaneously in the first phases of the tournament before the finals, and there were only 2 teams of casters, so not every game could have been casted, and obviously all the worst game I played were the only one that got casted. What do you want? It's like it is. So I decided I would make a little recap of my games and post it on my channel, because some of these games were absolutely bonkers, but no one saw them, so here we are. So this game was honestly pretty easy. Like he spent a lot of resources on Icarus trying to snipe my Fabbers, kind of tunnel vision them. You can see my Fabbers are here unprotected by land because I scouted pretty much everything he was doing on the map and I knew he had no chance of picking them off early. Very early on you can see I already have a meta lead on the top left tab. This is because he made some very poor decisions in his expansions. There's very few metal on this side of the map, so going for proxies here is extremely bad unless you're going for a super fast T2 rush, which he's obviously not doing. He also forgot to get a second wave of Fabbers to expand, which I did not. As you can see, I have 8 Fabbers, he has 3, so this kind of resumes how game 1 went. I just built my T2 and just beat him because I had better eco, because I had better expo. Fast forward a little bit, you can see just end the game with a big T2 push. That's just basically how it went. So yeah, GG's to Dirty Apples. Round 1 is over. Next game. So for the second round we are on this map, Diadem, which is a very cursed map. As you can see, most of the metal is on these platforms which you cannot access by land. So you have to either use air Fabbers, which is extremely bad, or use pelicans to drop vehicle Fabbers, which is the tactic most people ended up using, which is probably the most efficient tactic. This game against a PA soldier is a very interesting, very goofy, I would say. But there is a twist. While playing this map with my big friend Big Mac CEO, who's Plat and also playing in this tournament, but spoilers, I didn't end up facing him, which is sad. As I was saying, while playing this map as practice with Big Mac, I discovered that you can actually build a naval factory here by having Fabbers standing on the edge of this cliff, but you can't do it from the other side. This map is asymmetric, so I really wanted to abuse this kind of for the entertainment purpose. Here you can see some DMs between me and my friend Big Mac, who was also aware of the problem, and also with Nick, the organizer of the tournament. Because I ended up having slot 1, which is when you make the game you either have slot 1 or slot 2, and the advantaged position is slot 1. So that was kind of the plan for me going in this game. Put vehicle Fabbers here, factory, get other Fabbers, stand on the edge, build a naval factory, T2 naval, kaijus with maybe 1 Leviathan. Also, I discovered this is the kind of the general area where you have deep water, which means only hover units can go here, and a Leviathan would be stuck in this area. But there's also a bit of deep water here, so if you kind of bug the Leviathan through this path, you can actually get him to shoot this, and probably this expansions. So here a Leviathan could be very, very valuable. Also to protect the Kaijus from Blue Hawks, as Blue Hawks is the official counter of Kaijus. But all of this plan didn't really end up mattering because my opponent, PA Soldier, decided to not build a single air factory on this map and instead rush T1 vehicle, T1 bot, a metal storage and a energy storage into a T2 vehicle, which, if you ask me, is extremely bad, but he did end up almost killing me with this. So I saw the T2 factory, and at that point I immediately knew my naval strategy wouldn't be very good, as if he can get some T2 tanks on the front lines, he will absolutely destroy my base. Only thing is, T2 vehicle units are super slow, so I was mostly afraid of Pelican drops, which he obviously didn't end up doing because he didn't have any air factory. And yeah, this is why this game is a bit weird. So fast forward, you can here see the tactic in question. Only problem, my VFABs are bugged and didn't want to get on the edge to build the naval factory, which ended up slowing me down pretty hard. I'm also doing T2 bots because I'm aware that if he gets his T2 tanks units in my base, I am dead. But yeah, here I have my naval fabs getting out, getting some power to prepare the T2. And here you can see the death push coming in the center lane and the Blue Hawks getting out of the factory right on time to defend. These guys are very strong against T2 vehicle. You can see here I just manually targeted, I selected them and manually target on the T2 units. We have here 2 vanguards. The rest can be dealt with pretty easily with T1. You can see he has a couple of AA units, which means I have a global advantage, even though I also have some. So yeah, he just threw his T2 units into my base. The T2 naval is getting started. Perfect. So yeah, PA Soldier got me pretty scared for a moment. I had heard before that he was a former Uber player, but kind of left the game and came back for a couple of weeks every now and then. So yeah, he was pretty rusty, I guess. Also, he maybe knew how to play the map. He obviously didn't practice it because conceding all of this metal was a very big mistake. And he also kind of tunnel visioned on his T2 because he didn't build any T1 factories after only a couple of air factories. And you have to know that T2 units are only as valuable as the T1 units protecting them. So yeah, unfortunately I knew this game was won from the minute I saw he conceded all of the air priority. I was a bit clumsy on claiming this victory and capitalizing off the edge he allowed me to have, but in the end I got my T2 naval factory, so I'm pretty happy about it. Fast forward, a Leviathan, the Kaijus, and yeah, just death push. Ended up killing him, just like that. Kaijus are very strong as long as you can protect them from Blue Hawks, which he did not have. GG, so that made me 2 victory in the tournament. Pretty pog. So what you have to know about this tournament is that a lot of the players, despite the tournament being named the Plat Pro Cup, a lot of the players aren't really Plat. You have a lot of Uber players that have been inactive in the game for a while, notably Maréchal Grizzly, a French player from the PA community, which is a very, very strong. So I didn't end up playing against him at all, which was extremely lucky because he would have absolutely destroyed me, I'm quite sure. But here we're reaching round 3, on which I was faced against Quibbla, another player I know really well, which also is from the former / inactive Uber gang, so this match was definitely not in my favor. So starting this game, I only had one thing in mind in the early game, it was spark drops. I have played Quibbla a couple of times and I know he is a very big fan of early Faber snipe, especially spark drops. So I tried my absolute best to try and spot his Pelican and eventually take him down, or just protect my Fabers from the drop. Unfortunately, he did kind of a late drop, which I don't know if it's luck or pure genius, but he ended up right on my Fabs at the exact moment where I sent my units to raid thinking my Fabs would be safe. So at this stage of the game, losing 4 Fabers is pretty much GG, especially when you're playing against a very good player such as my good friend Quibbla. But obviously this is in tournament, so I'm not gonna GG out that easily. I still have a couple of things going my side, especially the fact that I've trained this map so many times, I kind of know what I'm supposed to go for, which in this case, a calm walk to secure the center is very optimal, which is why I got all these 3 vehicle Fabers, which are supposed to take on the commander's duty while he is walking to the center. As you can see, these guys are going to build a couple of factories and some extra pigeons and prepare for the T2. Also, maybe something I missed out earlier is that I tried to drop a single Faber in the opposite side, which is a side players tend to kind of forget. Me the first, being always tunnel visioned on the closest center, the short center, and not the long center. So I tried to get a single laser up, but he caught it just before I could finish it, which was very unfortunate. I am up in eco though, which is very surprising. I see he also rushed the center, which might be the reason why he isn't miles ahead in terms of medal, because he skipped all of this first backside expo while I'm busy building it. And this is maybe where my game plan turned in my favor and actually gave me somewhat of a lead, because if he's not going to claim this medal fast enough, then I might get actually ahead, because all the resources he will invest on this side of the map will be denied by my commander, as you can currently see. And if the backside isn't completely under his control, then he might actually fall behind. Unfortunately for me, there's also a big naval part to this map. He should have recognized maybe sooner that this was completely free, because I'm seeing he's building some turrets and he only has 1 Faber, building some factories as well, while he could have just speed ran all this metal with just maybe 1 or 2 narwhals to protect his Faber. So I'm fortunately not the only one making mistakes in this game. Here, obviously, the big problem with calm walking, especially on small maps like these, is that the edge you can get yourself is very short-lived, because being closer to the base, you're also exposing your commander to the T2 push. So when I saw his T1 units gathering here, I got scared and ran into the water, which was a good call because he was starting to get some slammers out. Seeing the game now, I'm actually realizing I wasn't that much behind in terms of eco, army, Faber count is even. I'm just down 1 factory. I'm securing this naval site. Big mistake here, this naval factory is absolutely in range of any T2 units shooting it on land. Also, if you were not aware of it, slammers can shoot torpedoes, so if I don't build torpedo turrets myself, my commander will die very quickly. I went for a locust play, which didn't end up paying off for itself that much. Maybe I got a couple of mexes. That's unfortunate. I tunnel vision on the factory while I could have grabbed all of this metal. You see, when you're so certain that you're behind, you start going for stupid plays like these, while I could have gotten so much more. Like this, maybe this naval factory, this metal. I could have got so much more with this locust, but yeah, it's whatever. So I lost my center expo, which is not too big of a deal. I'm trying to get T2 naval to get some leviathans and kaijus, and this is where the game starts to be very interesting, because Quibbla is walking his commander as well. At this point, I'm a bit surprised by the movement of his troops. Also to note, he kind of default included Blue Hawks in his build, which is very bad because snipers counter Blue Hawks. Blue Hawks are kind of something you only build when the enemy doesn't have T2 bots. It's a counter to vehicle. Here, as you can see, I don't really know what Quibbla was doing. Obviously, I talked with him after the match, so I know what was up. But at that point, I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He left his T2 exposed to this very small blob of units, which allowed me in the end to get a takedown on the T2 factory, which was very big. And I could have gotten so much more. I could have killed all his base, but I saw this huge force going around with his commander. So I panicked and retreated all of my troops while I could have killed his whole base. And the thing is, after talking with Quibbla, he told me that he thought I had a massive lead in metal, which was absolutely not the case. I had been holding on very well against him, but now he's 160 metal to 1. He has basically 50% more metal than me. But he thought the game was over, so he tried a desperate rush, which was totally not necessary. I control Q'd a couple of Blue Hawks to try and damage his commander. And yeah, this is basically how I won the third game against Quibbla. GG. So it was basically a miracle I won against Quibbla. I'm not really supposed to win against him. He's very certainly a much better PA player than I am. But I'm still pretty proud of this victory because I had a better mental than him, which gave me the win. And mental is something I had to work on for a long time before the tournament. It was one of my biggest weak points, so I'm kind of glad to see that my efforts paid off, and one of the wins I got basically only came to me through having better mental than my opponent. So at this point I was like, okay, I'm having 3 wins in the tournament. I was leading the tournament. There was only me and Max who had gone 0 loss at this point. Even Maréchal Grizzly had lost one of his games. Basically all of the players I was afraid to play against had lost at least 1 game. Red Arrow had lost 1 game. Big Mac CEO had lost another game, although I'm pretty sure he had internet issues, but he's a noob, so whatever, he would have lost anyways. Sinocence lost a game as well. I didn't really know the man before the tournament, but I had received a lot of echoes that he was kind of the favorite to actually win the tournament. So I was kind of scared to face him in the earlier brackets because I wanted to at least have a chance at playing semifinals, which I ended up doing. On to the next game. Also, at this point, we have on the live stream one of my absolute all-time favorite moments of the whole event, which is one of the casters, It's Watermelons, reacting to my score on the brackets, which is absolutely my favorite moment of the whole event.
Yep. And I'm looking at the new brackets right now, seeing what players won and what players lost. Looks like most of the games went how I would think they would. The Quill-Tide Dirty Apples game would have been interesting to see both players play a little unorthodox. Zamok beat Quibla. What?
Zamok's quite a new player on the scene, isn't he? He's just been playing a lot of games recently.
I can't fucking believe that he beat Quibla.
Yeah, so Zamok's won all his games. He's 3 wins, and so is Maximus Primus Emperor. And Quibla picked up a loss against Zamok just then.
Yeah, looking at these scores right now, actually, this is like, wow, incredibly close. You're right. Max and Zamok are leading the tournament right now with.
But now, this is where the trouble begins. We're playing on Steps, which was the mystery map, so no one had prepared the map in advance, and I'm playing against Max, which was the only other player who had 0 losses at the time of the tournament. And I had no idea what to expect of this guy. I had played like maybe 1 or 2 games against him, but couldn't even finish them because he had internet issues. So yeah, I didn't really know what to do. This is also a pretty big map, and big maps means very heavy macro, and I'm absolutely not a heavy macro player. I ended up learning and obviously seeing that Max is a very good macro player, so don't expect too much for this game. I'm not gonna talk too much about this one. It's not very interesting to watch. I just did a lot of mistakes. There's some interesting things you can see. First thing is that I'm having a small lead in my build order because I'm utilizing the new commander build range. Yes, indeed, this tournament was played on the latest patch, which is not yet in the live game at the time of recording this video, and all the players had access to the patch notes, and one of the tweaks that were brought to the commander is an increase of his build range. So as you can see, usually on this kind of map, your commander starts around here, grab these metal clusters, first fabs can go take this, then one of these 2 expo, which results in having 3 metal before the first expo. But here, since the building range is so big, I can actually build a factory here with my commander and a metal extractor without having to walk between them. So I get 1 more metal extractor than him, which will result in a small but important metal lead for the early game. Here you can see I'm sitting on 47, he's sitting on 41, which means I will have a small advantage in army numbers. So yeah, I felt pretty great about it. Only problem is, this is basically the only thing I did right. Here you can see I'm very stupidly gonna build 2 proxy factories on the same spot, sending all my units to this center, while this was obviously the center where I was supposed to contest. So I failed to recognize that this was the priority. I slowed down my fabbers by building a second proxy factory, which was completely not necessary. And I threw all of my units at him, which is very bad on big maps, because by the time they get there, there's like at least 10 new units that have come out of his factories. It's the defender's advantage. So that was also a big mistake on my side. And I can confidently say I've already lost the game at this point. He's gone for a triple air factory build while I just did 2 into a orbital. So I not only concede the ground priority by delaying my factories with an orbital, but I also give out air priority by only building 2 air factories. So he's obviously gonna crush me very soon. Even though I managed to send some fabbers on the other planets, but they don't really get the time to pay off. As you can see, there's so much metal on this map, on the main planet, that even by capturing every metal on the other ones, I don't even think I could have any lead whatsoever. So yeah, he's completely crushing me. He's having his T2 up already, while mine is only halfway done. And at this point, the game is already over, but I just now realize how much I fucked up this one. Even though we're on a tournament, so no surrendering until the very end. I place a teleporter and yes, I managed to extract my commander at the very last second. Amazing. Incredible. Now, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Build some vehicle factories? Okay. What's next? Build another teleporter and run away even faster. Wow. Nice. Now this the planet has become 2 times smaller than the previous one. Max is building a teleporter. I managed to destroy it with Icarus, even bringing my air fabricators to reclaim the portal. Fortunately, at this time, Max is crashing on energy, so the portal doesn't turn on. Only a few doxes managed to get in. I'm just about to finish my T2, which, what do you want me to do? The game is over. It's GG. I got completely wrecked by Maximus. GG to him. He's definitely the better player. So, after this crushing victory by Maximus, I can't lie, my confidence was a bit down. I was expecting to lose to a pretty big amount of players on this tournament, but getting beaten up this bad certainly didn't feel any good. Next round was on Blitz, another map I practiced a shit ton, and this one is a combox map with extremely short distance between bases, and it's a best of 3. We're still in group stage. The best of 3 is because of the map being very volatile. Very small mistakes can lead to immediate and brutal snowball from each player. So the build I'm going for is the 1 pigeon build, where I get 4 factories, 4 metal extractors, and 1 pigeon. This definitely works, because if you plan on pushing with your commander, it means he's not gonna build and he's only gonna be generating metal and energy. So if your commander is not building, he's walking, you don't need that many energy and that many metal. So having 4 factories to Red Arrow, as you can see, building pigeons as if he was playing a regular map, was definitely a good sign. Yeah, it's a good sign when you're playing a Comrush build to have your opponent lose time on building pigeons. So here at this point, my 2 fabbers will finish this 5th factory and will then assist every unit out to maximize the unit output. When you're doing a commerce like this, basically the plan is to reclaim the factories with your commander. If the enemy commander is still in the base, which he wasn't at this point, you kind of want to tank turrets and every shots with your commander, and the goal is to protect your units, kill the enemy units with your commander, and then kill the commander with your units. Spread them out to avoid uber cannon, and etc. A bit of a base trade going on here. Red Arrow was planning on taking the center slowly with his comm. He wasn't prepared for such aggressive build by me. Unfortunately, he managed to rush a double laser turret. which made me kind of panic. His raid definitely didn't pay off. He only got 2 fabs and 1 nether extractor. So, how did I lose, you may ask? Well, I don't know. Miss Micro, I guess my dogs here take a huge damage of the Uber cannon. Looking at this right now, I don't even know how I lost this game. But I did. As I said, small mistakes, big snowball. That's how it goes. Fortunately, it's a best of 3, so I still have a last chance to beat my good friend Red Arrow. So, on to game number 2. As you can see, I'm doing the exact same build. It's the build I basically practiced the most. This time, he was expecting it. He did a lot more factories, and he even prepared some double laser turrets. When he saw the rush, I guess he must have scouted it at some point. Yes, he did. So, this is a pretty tricky situation. I got scared by the double laser turret, but I probably should have either rushed it down with my commander or just ran around the range circle and reclaim these 2 factories. Unfortunately, I really panicked and didn't feel confident enough to estimate the range of the double laser turret. So, a big problem when you're doing a comm rush is if you're not rushing with your comm, it's not a comm rush anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not uber cannoning the grenadiers, which would have probably allowed me to win the game right now. And now he has way more units than me. The boombots were very not smart. And yeah, Miss Micro here cancelling the rally order of the units onto the commander. Here he's chasing me, and I'm desperately trying to push my commander away with this 1 striker. Fortunately, Red Arrow is not control moving, which means the faster units are all moving at the speed of the slowest units, which I believe is either the Gren or the Spinner. The problem is here, I know Red is having some metal extractors built somewhere, so I know I'm probably not going to win this game. But as I said, mental is the key, guys. Never surrender. Here you can see Red Arrow losing some precious time and metal on building pelters, while I'm getting a T2. Just the only problem is I'm not expanding on metal. He's eventually going to push out and destroy my T2, and I'm not gonna be able to defend it because my commander has 11% health. So the game is pretty over at this point. I'm kind of crying behind my PC thinking I'm such a bad PA player. But guys, never surrender. Look at this. Air factory. Wow. Boombots coming from both sides. Landmines, okay. Red Arrow not realizing how big of a lead he has. Wasting time building boombots. Tunnel visioning on my T2. While I am running away with my commander. See? This is how you win at PA, guys. The game is dragging out very long. We're probably both very scared. Red Arrow starting his T2 so late, but as I said, I haven't grabbed any metal, so can't really do anything about it. But look at this, guys. Bombers. And I'm assisting the air factory with my commander, cutting down the energy of my other factories, making bombers, guys. 2 bombers right now. 3 bombers, 4, 5, 6. Some scouts. 8 bombers, 4 scouts. Wow. This is it, guys. This is the final play. So much mistakes have been done. But PA is a game about cheese. Look at this. Look at this. He's looking at my commander. I'm hover bombing. And I get the kill in the end. Wow, isn't that beautiful, guys? Wow, this is all absolutely amazing. And he just finished his T2. He had the game, he just didn't pay any attention. So much panic, so much mistakes. This is beautiful. This is the PA I love. So, yeah, at this point, we're 1-1 in the best of. Anything is possible, but mentally, it feels like I just got 2-0'd because he was definitely going to win this game. I just sniped him at the very last second. So I was very down on mental, guys. I was convinced I was gonna lose, but I had a plan. A man with a plan never loses. I started thinking very hard, guys. Both previous games, I knew I had a better build, a rush build. I just lacked the execution. I knew my build was better, but I just didn't have the micro. I just wasn't good enough to pull it out. So I thought, all right, I've done the same build twice. Now he's going to expect it. He's going to expect that I'm going to play on the offensive. So he's going to get in a mindset he's preparing himself to play defensive. And the thing is, when you're playing defensive, it's up to the opponent to make mistakes. And that's why I mean by I don't have the micro. I'm not good enough to not make any crucial mistakes. So I thought, all right, he's expecting me to be on the offensive and he's expecting my mistakes to determine how the game is gonna go. But what if I manage to force him to play on the offensive? If I put him in a situation where he has to contest me, he has to play offensive and I'm playing defensive, then I was sure he was gonna make more mistakes than I would. So the plan is force a situation where I'm defending and he will make mistakes. So I built a couple extra pigeons, a second one where I usually build 5 factories and 1 pigeon. Here I have 4 factories and 2 pigeons with a radar. I mean, the radar is not really working because I'm crashing, but guys, the strategy is coming through. I push my commander to the center and a pelter, guys. So now he's gonna see it. He's gonna see the pelter. I mean, he doesn't know right now, but when he's gonna see it, here, bam, immediate panic. This pelter sees half of his metal production, 2 of his T1, like 40% of his unit production, and 1 energy. So he's panicking. He thinks, okay, I have to be offensive. I have to contest this. He's trying to destroy the pelter, just like I was hoping. Now, like, the dices are thrown. Like, it's up to his mistakes. And guys, look, this fatal mistake. He hesitated. He thought he had the damage to destroy the pelter, but he didn't see the laser turret. And then he backed off too early. Seeing the damage the pelter was doing, he got afraid and didn't finish off the pelter. Now I have my grenadiers ready. He's trying to kill the grenadiers, but now he's gonna lose to my commander, so he has to pull back. But now my grenadiers can come back and destroy his own commander. Oh, the pelter is still shooting. Red Arrow is not dodging anything anymore. The commander is shooting at the crucial. Oh my god! Guys. Wow. Just wow. The micro on this game, everything was so messy. But guys, the game plan, pure genius. I'm gonna be real. This victory felt very good. I thought, okay, if I'm not gonna win the map, I'm going to win the best of series. I'm going to win by understanding how my opponent thinks. This is peak. This is peak competition, guys. Peak entertainment I'm offering you right now. This game, wow. Red Arrow, GG, man. The thing is, he was starting T2, and the T2 was absolutely not in range of the Pelter. So even if he didn't contest the Pelter, even if I cut down half his metal production, he still could have rushed his T2, could have shut down his T1 factories. It doesn't matter if you have T2, you don't need T1 on Blitz. So he should have just gotten a couple of Fabbers out, get his commander on the T2, get a single Blue Hawk to destroy the Pelter, and just end it all. My build was so much better than his on the first 2 games, but on the third one, even though it was worse, I adapted better. My build, this is it, guys. I forced out a mistake. Even though my build was bad, it was working with the game plan of the best of promo series thing. All right, peak, as I said, peak competition, peak entertainment, just peak PA, peak gameplay, guys. So now what? I lost 1 game against Max, which means I have secured myself a place in the winners semifinals. Yes, guys, wonderful. So next game is against Sinocence, which I have mentioned before, the favorite for the tournament. A former Uber player as well, kind of rusty apparently. Also very heavy macro player. And we were playing on Arctic, which is a very cursed map, almost entirely naval, and another Comwalk map. Both commanders spawn on the pole side, and you have to walk your commander to grab the metal on the other islands. Honestly, guys, there's not much to say about this game. I just forgot to build air factories. It's basically it. Yeah, so as you can see, he has 3 air factories, and I have 1. So yeah, definitely not very wise by me. And also, first mistake was to completely forget about air, and second mistake is I didn't do my Barracuda transition. On naval maps, you want to do only piranhas before T2, and once you have your T2 out, you want to go for barracas only. Barracudas, guys, Barracuda. But it's the problem with these maps. They take you so far away from your comfort zone, you start making basic mistakes in your build order and stuff. So yeah, absolutely nothing interesting to see in this game. Just a big death push, I guess, and I lose my base here. You can see he has Barracudas. I've got well, I've got nothing, so that's another issue. But yeah, second loss of the tournament against Sino. But it's fine, guys, it's fine, because I have secured a place in the semifinals. Next game is against Max. And I'm pretty sure this is the game that will determine who goes to finals and who goes to semifinals. If you remember, Max is the guy who absolutely destroyed me on the surprise map. And guess what? It's another macro map. Wow, Tia. Wow, I don't know, guys. Yeah, I'm sure he's not gonna absolutely destroy me at all. Let's take a look at this, guys. Wow, he's already 30 medals ahead at 5 minutes. I decided to Comwalk. As I mentioned before, Comwalk is strong on small maps, not on big heavy macro maps. But guess there wasn't much going on in my brain at the time of this game. I had been playing for 5 hours and I knew I had a very little chance of playing well against him. So yeah, not much to say. I commocked pretty bad. He did again. Oh, I was gonna say he again did triple air, but he didn't. I did. But I probably took some very bad early air trade and lost air priority. Typical Zamok game, if you ask me. I mean, looking at it now, I wasn't that far behind. Oh, never mind. He has triple my army value. So yeah, that was a pretty big loss. Not much to do there. I just wish it wasn't such a uninteresting loss, because this was actually one of the only games I played that ended up being casted, and I played like shit. Yeah. Next game, guys. And this brings us to my final game, and I was playing again against Citizens. We were so this game is the game for the 3rd and 4th place. Good luck for me, it's on Basin, and I had practiced a shit ton out of this map. I knew how to play it very well. So, Basin, very big map. There's a big naval aspect, even though there isn't that much metal that can be secured only with naval. The only thing is, there's a lot of metal in the center and not much metal on the path towards the center, which means it's gonna be very important to capture the center. Which means, guys, Comwalk. Yes. Ooh, the Comwalk. On this map, it's actually good. I'm not brain dead, guys, I swear. I don't comwalk on every map. I just... yeah. I'm pretty sure Sinnoh also completely forgot to build any stitches to reclaim trees. So that definitely gave me a huge advantage. He went for naval, which is, I guess not a bad choice. Naval fabs are very, very valuable. He just didn't use them to build the base. And he ended up comwalking as well, just not to the right spot. Like, this is not interesting to get. Only 3 metal, while I'm getting 2, 4, 8 metals, and securing even more by having pressure here. Like you can see, this expo is very vulnerable. He spotted the comwalk and panicked, built a pelter on the most uninteresting place he could have done it, because I can just go this way and capture his expansion, which is exactly what I end up doing. Look at this, guys. Zamok actually playing the game how he's supposed to. Incredible. I get my T2 air up and running while he's going for T2 naval. As most macro players like to do, he rushes a T2 fab. I hate rushing T2 fab. I hate T2 eco. When I get my T2, the only thing I want is to slap my opponent in the face as hard as possible. So, now that I have taken his expo with my commander, the goal will be to keep expanding on the map off of the center, since I've secured the center. And at the same time, T2 air will help me navigate the whole map and try to pick up as much metal as I can. As you can see, he's bringing back the eco game because he has T2 eco. He's building T2 eco. He also built a Leviathan, and now he's going on to Kaijus, which was to be expected from a naval rush. Thing is, I didn't really use my air very interestingly. Instead of defending, I should have grabbed all his metal, and I also should have seen that his base was absolutely undefended, and I could have completely destroyed it with my small army of Doxes, eventually pushing it with my commander. But it's fine, guys, because I actually play the game, almost losing my Hornets here, and now I can start picking up all of his metal all over the map. Let's see this. I see the commander, get this. Wow, gaming, look at this. Pow pow, grabbing everything. The kaijus will absolutely get destroyed by air, as they are way off the shores and cannot be defended by their narwhals. Guys, big mistake on Sinnoh's side. He didn't build any stingray. He might have thought he was safe from air because he has narwhals, but as you can see, the narwhal range is very short and hornets can easily pick them up. If you want to defend your navy, you need stingrays like this. Problem is, I'm pissing on his T2 factory, and he's not gonna be able to finish his stingray on time. So now the only thing protecting his naval units are those miserable narwhals who will get completely destroyed by any T2 air unit. All I have to do is come and pick them up. Surely I will kill this Leviathan before he completely destroys all of my energy, right? Surely. Aha, very interesting. Destroying the air factories is probably the worst thing I could have done. If you want to cut off someone's production, you kill the metal, not the factories. Because if he still has metal to build factories after you destroy the factories, there's no point in destroying the factories in the first place. Also, my base is dying. What? How did I not see this? I don't know. It was late, guys. 6 hours of intensive gaming. Lots of pressure. Daddy Nick was watching as well. I saw him join the lobby at the last second. I had been practicing the map with him, so I didn't want to disappoint him. I don't know if I ended up doing it. I finally realize his base is absolutely shit, and I can literally destroy it with T1. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's at this point I will start realizing that this is going on the other side of the map. Yep. Unfortunately, crucial play here, guys. I only have 2 Hornets, and I end up losing them because they're so slow. Oh, look. Oh, no. Oh, this is horrible. No, there's like 5 hummingbirds. And now I'm building worms for some reason, and without any Hornets, I'm not going to be able to safely kill the AA. What is going on, guys? Desperately trying to use horseflies, which is so bad. Honestly, so bad. What do I've got left? 2 Kestrels. Jesus, this is yeah, this is very bad. So, not gonna lie, guys, at this point, I thought the game was over, guys. I was pretty sure the game was over. I mean, I'm still protecting my commander from these kaijus because, come on. But yeah, I remember very clearly at this moment, I let go of my keyboard, my mouse, and I stopped giving any orders. I basically stopped playing the game. I was like, all right, this is over. I can FF. I'm not gonna win this best of 3. I'm gonna be 4th. It's not too bad, but I felt like I could have done so much more, having air lead and stuff like this. Here you can see not much going on in my base, kind of despair. But then, guys, I remembered the game against Quibbler. I remembered my training. I remembered, guys, never give up. I remembered that my mental was my biggest weakness, and that mental is what won me the game against Quibbler. And then I thought, this game is not over. There's all these wreckages I can reclaim that are only on my side of the map. There is more metal on the land than on naval on this map. I knew it. I have played this map before. I was like, okay, guys, now is the time. Now is the time to bring it back. I got some fibers out. I got some stitches out. Started reclaiming all the wreckages. Built back the power. Get T2 bots for some reason. Yeah, I guess, why not? I mean, Blue Hawks beat Kaijus, right? This is the good option. Straight back into T2 air. Come on, come on, come on. I build Hornets. I build an Angel. I build an orbital factory to get the vision. And then I'm just zooming around the map, picking off all the metal he can build. This is the comeback, guys. He's desperate. He's building a nuke launcher, guys. I see it. I know he's desperate. But do I see it though? No, I don't see it. I see it now, but I didn't see it at the time of the game. But I knew I could win this. I'm picking off all of the metal. He's got nothing. He's got nothing else. I've got my Blue Hawks defending from the Kaijus. My air is zooming around the map. And guys, he GG's. He GG's out the game. 200 metal to 100. I had double his metal. I should not have forfeited, and I didn't. And this is what won me the third place of the tournament. The mental. I had been struggling so much at keeping up the mental, and it actually won me the tournament. Guys, I was so proud. Very close game, very intense game, very good game. Amazing tournament. I'm so happy this tournament happened. It was my first ever tournament. I actually did the trailer for it myself with my small, delicate little hands. You can see it on Marshall's channel. And yeah, this is it, guys. This is the Plat Pro Cup. Got placed third. I was expecting less. I wasn't expecting to do more than top 5. Honestly, I even thought I might not do it to the top 5. You know, you had so much good players in this tournament. Red Arrow, Big Mac. Big Mac, dude, I always lose to this guy. He's my nemesis. Quibbla, super good player. Sino, everyone said he was the favorite. Max, super good as well. Grizzly, everyone knows Grizzly, right? He's the French guy. Yeah. Who else was there? I don't know. Some old Ubers. There was Future Gnome. Yeah, I mean, he's gold, but anyway, amazing tournament. And I hope you enjoyed my recap of the Plat Pro Cup by Zamok. The Zamok path. I'm currently working on a best of the whole tournament. I'm making a 20-30 minutes video of compiling the VODs from both casters teams. So you can definitely look out for the next video on Marshall's channel. Yeah, it's probably gonna take a while to edit, so don't expect it too soon, but yeah, expect it at some point in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Do the thing, like and subscribe. Yeah, bye bye.